Flat cap pastor dashing through pages, Chronicles, Gospels, prophets, sages, Leviticus, laws to pause, find phrases, turning them corners, your spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace you'll find. Songs singing sweet, unbroken lines, hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound, plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul serving sound. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birth to cross on the hill. Unfolding the never blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flip, every verse fulfilled.
Through the word, every verse, every chapter, nothing unheard. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered, spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ, flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message, flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick, raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions, streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extend. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered, spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ, flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message, flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick, raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions, streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extend. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. 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 Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick, raining blessings down with a slick
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. There we go. We got sound. We got sound. Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Let me just adjust this a wee bit. Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Nope, not the thing I want to adjust. Wrong thing. Is that it? Is that the right thing? Nope. Keep grabbing the wrong thing. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Let's do that. A little bit more, maybe. A little bit louder now. There we go. I know it's not louder, but just playing around with my settings, so everything looks good on other channels and moving stuff around, and then you see what it does on this channel. So, although you know what, I have to undo that because the reason I had it set that way is so that when I go to the other. So, what am I thinking? Okay, yeah, when I go to do workout in a little while, I need it that way. Forgot about that. I forgot. Unless I add another channel for workout, which I don't think I'm going to do. Okay. Anyway, welcome in, everyone. I just saw the towel laying on the floor. I was cleaning up a little water so when I change the filters, the digger gets water on the outside of the container. Even if you wipe it off, you can't fully get it all. At least I can't while it's filled with water because I filled it with water. Anyway, it ends up condensating onto the floor. Then I move the container and wipe it up. So I did that, but I just left the towel sitting there. I didn't hang it up. I should have hung the towel up. All right. There you have my life. Getting really close and then falling short before finishing something. And that's how I roll. Hey everybody, I hope you are having a blessed day. So things have changed. Was supposed to start doing workouts at 8 a.m. today, and that is not happening. So instead, I'll be doing workouts at 10 a.m. So the guy that was going to be leading the workouts got sick, and there's two people, I guess, leading. I didn't realize there were two. I knew there were two times, but I only knew one guy was leading. But apparently, the 10 o'clock, maybe somebody else is leading instead, or maybe he was planning to lead that one anyway. So the 10 a.m. one will be a go. So I'm switching everything around to not working out at 8 a.m., but working out at 10 a.m. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm just looking to see if there's any new updates on that. I do not see any. Boy, I do not like looking at Discord in negative space. It's very confusing to my brain. Not that it's really that much different, but for some reason it just feels wrong. So yeah, that message came in later, or I should say last night. Came in last night. So, okay. What do we have going on today? Oh, that's right. Let's check it out. Let's see what our. Oh, that's not our. Oh, yeah, that is. That's the right one for looking at the schedule. All right, so we left off in Matthew. So that's where we will pick up our dealio here in the Gospel of Matthew. Checking frames missed due to rendering lag. 0.1%. I don't think that's too bad. I don't know if that's good or not. Frames dropped network 58%. Are you guys getting dropped frames there? I'm not liking that. I know how I can reduce that, but I know how, but do I want to do that? Let me know how everything's going if you're getting dropped frames, if it's that bad. Because 58% seems like a real large number of frames dropped. Let me just look at my other screen to see what's going on. Doesn't look bad over there to me. See, I'm watching it over there so that when commercials come on. But Demario, you had one stutter, but it was a while ago. Not bad at all. Okay. If it does get bad, let me know because, like, I'm streaming over there to the fish pond cameras, and I can, turn off watching myself over there so that. But as of tomorrow, I will be getting fiber. I will be getting fiber. So this should be the last day, or tomorrow, because it could be after stream tomorrow, or I could have no stream tomorrow if the fiber happens in the middle of it. So yeah, I'll be getting fiber, and then I should have no more of those issues. I'm probably not going to go streaming in 4K, even though I could, because who can even watch 4K is one question, and who would have that eat up their data? I don't want to do that on anybody. So I know it'll downsize and all that stuff, but anyway, Mel, welcome in. I saw your question on Discord. We'll have to chat later about that. So, just clarifying different things. But anyway, all good. Okay, that's where we are. We are in Matthew. That's where we're going today. You know what? I didn't mark off what we got done with James. We got James 1. That's what we did. We got James 1 on Friday. Let's mark that off. And let's cut and paste. Nope. Why does it do that to me? I don't know. And how do I fill the background? There we go. Weird how it does that. Like, it takes the color with, like, just leave the color there too. Like, do I want the other color? And that's like, all the stuff I turned yellow, and I set the page to yellow, but if I type, it goes white. I just don't understand. Okay, so we are in Matthew, and we got partially through Matthew, but we did not get further. So, let's see where we had here. Oh yeah, we had the healing at Peter's house. That was pretty cool. And then he challenges followers. Oh yeah, that's right. So the different people asking him or coming to him to maybe be a follower, but some with not understanding what it cost, and the other with excuses. I love the two extremes there. The one of, hey, I'll come follow you, teacher. Do you really know what it's going to be like to do that? Are you sure you are prepared? And the next guy, oh, I'm ready to do it, but I got to do something else first. But I want everyone to know that I'm willing to do it, but I have to do something else first. And, yeah. He doesn't end up following, it appears. Okay, so that's where we were. And I stopped here because I don't want to get into Stilling of the Storm, and then have it be in the middle. We didn't get everything going on, so this feels like a new occasion. He has been challenges about what it is to be a disciple, what it is to follow him. Now he's in a boat. So he got into the boat. Okay, why do they have a footnote there? They have the footnote, or see the note in Matthew for the description of the first century fishing boat in 1986 near Tiberias on the western shore. Okay. So they just want you to know what the boat was like. His disciples followed him. Did they follow him into the boat, or did they follow him on other boats? The evangelist observation that Jesus' disciples followed him into the boat continues this theme of disciples following Jesus from preceding context. Here the disciples are probably to be understood as only the 12, and even that would have required a boat of moderate size. Well, even so, we have Peter, Andrew, James, and John, so there's at least, hey, Subdue, welcome in. There's at least 2 boats that would be on a regular basis available to him, if not more. So they followed him into the boat. Doesn't necessarily mean singular, I don't think. By the way, Subdue, if you didn't see, Mel, if you didn't see, my planned schedule for doing workouts at 8 a.m. ended up getting changed last night because the guy leading it is sick. And they did not want to postpone the 90-day kickoff. So the 8 a.m. Eastern time is not happening right now, but the 10 a.m. Eastern time is. So I'll be streaming workouts at 10 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. And that should be fine. So that means we do the Bible study at the regular time. We'll do the workout stream, and then Monday and Friday after the workout stream, we will go do collab stream with the Fish Channel. So that's going to be the plans on Monday and Friday. I will have some conflicts on Wednesdays, not being able to stream the workout, and on Thursdays as well I'll have some. That's why I was picking the 8 o'clock time schedule. So that will mean, like, on Wednesdays, some Wednesdays I'll stream Bible for an hour, I'll be in a meeting for an hour, and then I'll come back to do workout for half an hour if it works to do that. So anyway, there's all of that. Hey, and anyone who's can explain this to me. I don't know how this happens or why it happens, but like my bit rate, I'm looking at that, and in the last 15 minutes, I've been about 4,500 on my bit rate, and it says excellent. Whereas last week, I was at 6,000 kilobytes for a bit rate, and it was saying that there were problems. It wasn't excellent. So I'm like, okay, why? Yeah. And I'm not sure how to change the bit rate anyway. I guess I need to go look and figure that out once I get fiber. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. So he's in the boat. His disciples follow. I don't think I would have noticed that. Maybe that's we have the will you follow him, and now the disciples follow him. I see that contrast, but I don't know if I've noticed the follow him. We probably could go look that word up if we wanted to and see how often. You know what? Let's just go do that. Papstio, bitrate depends on resolution and frame rate. Yeah, but I'm not changing anything at all from one week to the next. That's the part that's the confusion for me, Papstio. So my setting from last week to this week hasn't changed at all. Yet the bit rate has, and I didn't change anything. That's why I'm like, why? How? What? Am I not right? Oh, 23? That's where we are. I'm looking at 21. Okay. Followed. There we go. Al-Utheo. Al-Utheo. How close am I?
Strong's G 190. Akalutheo.
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 Akalutheo. Okay. Straight away they left their nets and followed. Immediately left their ships and their father and followed. And there followed him great multitudes. Great multitudes followed him. When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed. And a certain scribe came and said, I will follow. But Jesus said to him, follow me. And when they entered the ship, the disciples followed. So yeah, I never realized the extent here that Matthew uses follow. And then Mark's going to have a lot of those same ones. There's Luke. Luke is going to have a lot of those same ones. Wow, I never noticed that. Cool. This is one of the things that's fun of noticing things in Scripture is, hey, that's a cool thing to notice.
Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed?
I'm blessed.
Anybody in here blessed?
Bum,
Anybody in here blessed?
I'm blessed.
Okay.
Anybody in here blessed?
So disciples follow him. And a great storm developed on the sea, so that the waves began to swamp the boat. Look at great storm. Okay. You know where I'm going with that if you've been here any length of time. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. The word great should, megas, should be the equivalent of Gadol. Let me see where it is in. That's all I want to know. All I want to know is the Old Testament. That's what I want. Boom. Show me, baby. Come on. I want to get to Jonah, not Genesis. Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezekiel, Hosea, Amos, Job, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah. Okay, where is it? Trying to figure out where Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel. Just looking here. I think that's where it should be. Jonah. I can never remember, like, unless I rattle through all of them. Joel, Amos. There we go. Arise and go to Nineveh, the great city. A great wind. Yes, yes, yes. Told you. Told you, told you, told you. Yeah, so immediately upon hearing this word, a great storm developed on the sea. Our mind should go immediately to the story of Jonah, which we just read. So we should be thinking about the great storm. When was the last great storm that we know of? It was Jonah. And who was able to calm the great storm? Only God could calm it. The sailors couldn't appease the gods. They only had the storm calmed when they were obedient. When they were obedient. Notice that. Notice that. They only had the storm calmed when they were obedient to God. Then God calmed the storm. So we have great storm. Our ears should be perked up thinking the story of Jonah as soon as we hear great storm. Which I think actually they didn't render it great when they were reading it in the Old Testament with Jonah, if I remember right, which I was pointing out. Okay. Developed on the sea so that the waves began to swamp the boat. But he was asleep. Boom. Parallel with Jonah again. Jonah is asleep. Boom. Jesus asleep. Storm comes up. Asleep and asleep. Look at the parallel here. So they came and woke him up, saying, Lord, save us, we are about to die. But he said to them, why are you cowardly, you people of little faith? Okay, so in both instances, they get in a boat, they go to sleep, a great storm comes. The seasoned sailors that were used to sailing on that sea are afraid for their lives, and they are waking up the last person who isn't afraid for their lives to do something to save them. And just noticing I did not have the reading updated here, so we should put Matthew. There we go. We've updated. We're reading Matthew. Bum, bum, bum. And then he says, little faith. Well, the contrast would be the sailors who have no faith in God, but then in the end have great faith in God. Are the disciples going to turn and become like the sailors and notice and have a lot of faith in God? Hey, Nico! Awesome flat cap today. Thank you. Suits you very well. Love the color and the style, too. It's proper old school Birmingham style. Yes. Yes, it is. Also hope you and your family and chat are blessed. Thank you, friend. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, like I say, it is one of my older hats. And it's actually one I usually wear on vacation. When I go on vacation, this is usually one hat that I bring. It's white. It's an off-white, though. And I'm not so sure usually about wearing white because, you know, when I go to tip my cap or put it off and on, you get a little grease on your finger, and then it's not the easiest to clean because, anyway, my problems. But thank you, appreciate it. Okay. So, then he got up and rebuked the wind and the sea, and it was dead calm. Why does it say dead calm? or commanded implication of a threat, the verbal indication strong disapproval, or even censure. Ooh, I don't think I've seen that. Who has authority? Oh, sorry. Is discussed in the Old Testament. Also, what is portrayed here is a power struggle, and the text leaves no doubt who is in control. When Jesus rebuked the wind and the seas, he demonstrated his authority over nature, making by implications a statement about who he was. Okay, that's weird that they say that here in a footnote in 53 instead of waiting until 56 when they ask the question. That would be where I would have put it. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go look up dead calm. That's a weird phrasing. I don't think I've heard it usually said that way. Dead calm. I think it's usually still. So verse 26. Oh, and there was a great calm. Oh. Come on, let me see the message that you're holding. Yeah, it did not like the word bugger. Thought that to be offensive. Yeah. Always, it's the least. Older hat? Yes. Huh. I have no way of telling. You take very good care of your hats. I like the off-white, I gotta say, but I relate. I got a few off-white flat caps as well. They're a bugger to clean. I find using Woolite liquid laundry detergent. Yep. With attention to how much you're using so it doesn't bleach anything, or use vinegar and baking soda. Oh, that's a good idea too. Takes a lot of the oils from the finger. Yeah, I should think about using vinegar. That's a great suggestion. And baking soda too. Especially be good. I just had to clean my green hat for St. Patty's coming up. I mean, I usually wear that a lot in March. So, anyway, thanks for the suggestion there. Okay. Wow, it was a megas calm. Oh my goodness.
Is anybody in here blessed? Is
Woo.
anybody in here blessed?
Never seen that.
Is anybody in here blessed?
Never seen that.
Is anybody in here blessed?
I'm blessed.
Is anybody in here blessed?
I'm blessed.
Yeah, vinegar and baking soda also takes out a lot of odor, which is an added side bonus. Not that you likely need that. But I sometimes do when I've been working in the garden with flat caps on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a couple of hats that I use for working in the garden and outside or otherwise. That's a good plan to maybe do on those. Yeah, the bugger with cleaning them is really, I don't know if it's cardboard, sometimes it's plastic, but whatever they put in for the brim, some of them are cardboard, and if you get them soaked in water, you ruin the hat. So you've got to be careful on the amount of water that you use and still get it clean. So, yeah, vinegar makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so if you don't know why I'm excited here, so we're looking at, it's a great storm and it's a great calm. We have the parallelism there. The great storm comes and there's a great calm. The story of Jonah is a great city that God wants to save. And the only thing that Jonah cares about is the little plant. Not the great city. Not the great city that's a 3 days walk. Not the great city that's 3 days. Oh, and he was in the whale for 3 days. And oh man, the parallels here. The parallels are even more than I've seen before. Oh, it's just so cool. Okay. So they definitely have the story of Jonah in the back of their head and describing it as a great calm on a great storm. And the men were amazed and said, "What sort of person is that even the wind and the seas obey him?" So this question is that they're asking each other, trying to figure it out. But this is also the question that we need to wrestle with. given this story, what kind of person is he? If you do not yet want to or have struggles with seeing that Jesus could be deity, at the very least, he is so intertwined, interconnected to God, that God will do things at his word. So when Jesus speaks, he has authority over. That authority would only be able to come from God. So either it is direct authority given by God to him, or, if you will, if you're inclined to, he is divine. I don't see any other option. He's not just doing a parlor trick to control creation. I mean, if I had this, I mean, the money I could make of being able to move storms. Why, there's a storm coming in, hurricane coming in. Can you come on down, Flat Cap, and rebuke the hurricane and keep it from us? Why, for a low fee of $1 per person, I can do that. I'm going to, make it reasonable. Everybody give me $1, I'll do that. And then pay for my airfare, that kind of a thing. And, maybe put me up in a hotel for a week, since my troubles and all that. But just the sheer, control over creation is amazing. And not just creation, but the chaos level of creation. Because remember that the sea is the place of chaos. The sea is where you go down to the depths into Sheol. So the sea is the place of chaos, and he has the ability to control chaos. When he came to the other side, to the region of the Gadarenes, 2 demon-possessed men came from the tombs. Met him. Okay. The regions of the Gadarenes would be a Gentile territory on the southeastern side of the Sea of Galilee, across from Galilee. Luke and Mark record the miracle occurring in the region of the Gerasenes. Irrespective of how one settles this issue, the chief concern is that Jesus has crossed over into the Gentile territory opposite Galilee. The region of Gadara extended to the Sea of Galilee and included towns of Cenabris on the southern shore. The town from the herdsmen most likely entered after the drowning of the pigs. The textual tradition here is quite complicated. Okay, we're not going to go into that. Look at how complicated that is. Okay. Anyway, part of it is the story is told in one occasion, or in 2 occasions, giving one location. In this, giving a different location. Is it a spelling variant? Is it a name variant? Is it I got the wrong place? I messed up and said the wrong one. Nico, that gives me so many parallels as well, or makes me think of parallels outside the Christian faith. One of them is the traditional concept of creation in Hinduism. There's a few. I can't remember the exact number, 5 or 6. Always, one of them is birthed through, one of them is birthed through an egg. Another is created through sweat. Another is created through a womb, etc. It also reminds me of the Quran, when Allah or God said, kun fayakun, or be, and it is. But yeah, the egg example in Hinduism, Vaishnava worship, a fish is used as allegory from which the eggs are birthed or laid. Oh, okay, interesting. So fish eggs rather than bird eggs. Okay. I do know that there are lots of creation myths throughout, and I know you're talking about some gods, but there are the story of creations, of how humans are created, and sometimes it is by sweat of a god that ends up creating people, or the blood of a god that ends up creating people, and they are unintentional things that are created, which is interesting. Hey, Keith, welcome in. Good to have you here, friend. Okay. Anyway, so there is a discrepancy between the text of where did this happen. And the point being that it's certainly a Gentile region. It'd be like saying, it could be perhaps you have link. Link for what? So go into a Gentile region. So he is in Galilee. He is in the Jewish region. People are following him. He's done teaching there. He's done some miracles. Now he's going to the Gentile region. He's demonstrated power over creation, over the natural world. Now he's going to demonstrate power over the supernatural world. You send my mom to the link? I'm confused. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm missing something, Keith. I'm sorry. I'm confused, and I'm not sure what you're trying to help me understand there. But here's one of the things that is different too. BRB, okay. Matthew does this, and others will as well. So when you have two people in a story, often it's a way for a rabbi to invite you into the story. So the fact he has two demon-possessed men here, where I believe the other stories we have of this, there's only one demon-possessed person. So what Matthew is doing here is inviting you into the story. It's also the difference of when the story is told of Jesus riding on the donkey, and it's a donkey and its colt, so it's two donkeys in one story. The other story, there's one. So notice those changes. When you see there is two that are there, it's an invitation for you to be in the story. The same way that Jesus tells the story of a man with two sons. He's doing the same thing. He's telling you the story, and he's describing the first person in the story that you're like, I don't want to be that person. So that means I'm the other person in the story. Then he turns the tables on them when he gets to describing the other brother in the story. So the story is more about the other brother. Oh, the Digital Missionary Conference. Yes. Did you have a question about it? There it is right there. So anytime you mention it, it pops up. You have it. Awesome. Yeah. I'm so excited about the conference, and it just keeps sounding better and better. That's one thing I need to do also is figure out spatial and what I need to do there. I'll probably ask those questions on my meeting on Wednesday. So you and your mom are going? Dude, okay, so now I get it. You sent the link of the digital conference to your mom. I wasn't reading I didn't realize you were responding to the prompt in, okay, I got you now. Awesome, friend. And the other thing is, anyone who is like, oh, I can't make it to that, it's at 11 EST, it's, I think 5 hours is how long the conference is going to be. May change. We may extend it. I can't make it. The thing is, sign up anyway. That's the only way you'll have access. We're not going to post these on YouTube for anybody and everybody to have. If you sign up for the conference and you can't make it all, you'll get the videos of those teachers later. They are going to be live, and there will be breakout sessions. You'll miss the breakout sessions. We're not going to record the breakout sessions. That's the only way you'll get the breakout sessions if you're there. Your birthday is April 11. I think my sister's is April 10. A few birthdays in April in my family. We tend to cluster our birthdays. So there are February birthdays, there are April birthdays, there are June birthdays, and there are November birthdays. And then there's a few outliers. But those are the 4 months that our family is like, this is a good time to give birth. Okay, so we have two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs, met him. Sorry, you said that you stream? I'm all good, friend. So we have two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs to meet him. They were extremely violent, so that no one was able to pass by that way. They cried out, "Son of God, leave us alone! Have you come here to torture us before the time?" Okay, let me see what anything here. Oh, it's just explaining the phrase, what it could mean. Okay, good enough. The question reflects the view that there was an appointed time in which demons would face their judgment, and they seem to have viewed Jesus' arrival on the scene as an illegitimate change in God's plan regarding the time when their sentence would be executed. So this would be where the book of Enoch is helpful to think about. Oh, I'm noticing that was last week. Let me go change that a minute. Just turn off my... Come on, load. Load. Not loading. Okay, there we go. Now it's loading. Okay. There we go. Edit. Oh, no. See, this is where the toggle switch doesn't show up. That's also on a timer. Well, I may just have to leave it for today if it's still going. Huh. Weird. Okay. Anyway, sorry I was distracted there, but I don't want bad info. I'm not preaching this Sunday. That was yesterday that I preached. So, in the book of Enoch, Enoch talks about the Watchers, and the Watchers are the ones that are connected with Genesis 6, and they are in chains. And so, here's a story where Matthew is bringing that information into the text. Peter and Jude quote from the book of Enoch. Paul makes a reference to it, perhaps, or alludes to it, not direct, but an allusion to it. Here's also another allusion to it, that there is a proper time and place for judgment. There's also the creation of the lake of fire that's reserved for them that we see in Revelation, which also makes references or allusions to the book of Enoch, while simultaneously mixing a whole bunch of other stuff together. So, anyway, they don't think Jesus is legitimate there. A large herd of pigs was feeding some distance from them. Then the demons begged him, if you drive us out, let us into the herd of pigs. Let me see what the word is here. Begged. What do they have there? Ask him, saying, oh, okay. No explanation is given in the text for the relationship between the demons and the herd of pigs. Some have suggested a link between uncleanness of demons and ceremonial uncleanness. Well, okay. Uncleanness of pigs is not ceremonial. Ceremonial uncleanness means that you can wash and become clean, or there's a practice by which you can become clean. Pigs can never become clean. Pigs are always unclean. They are not ceremonial unclean. Sorry, I'm disagreeing with you. A person can be unclean, lest the suggestions that the pigs are sacrificial animals in the non-Jewish world somehow alludes to the worship of demons. No, I wouldn't go that far. I would just go with, they're an unclean animal, demons are unclean, therefore they would be comfortable in the uncleanness of the animals. So I would just go that far. Ceremonial unclean. No, pigs aren't ceremonial unclean, because you can never make them clean. Okay. So they ask a question of them. See, here's the thing. Okay, people will get upset on some level about the destruction of the herd of pigs. This wasn't Jesus coming. So I'm gonna pick on Incredibles here for a minute. How superheroes get banned because of the destruction that happens on the side, the incidental things that happen. with them saving the day, they do incidental damage to things around as they're trying to save the day. So that accusation also gets lobbed at this story of he destroyed all of these pigs, which was someone's livelihood. How is that loving of Jesus to do that? This wasn't Jesus's plan. This was a request by the demons to be able to go and do this. So, whether or not Jesus knows what will happen anyway, Jesus shows mercy to the demons in this moment of saying, well, I'm okay. If that's what you'd like, it won't turn out good, but I will give you what you're asking. That could be what's going on here. That's what I'm inclined to think. So this isn't Jesus saying, well, that'll be great. These Gentiles won't have their pigs then. No. This is, hey, the demons asked of something of you. You were going to cast them out. They're looking for a place to go. Pigs are as good a place as any. In fact, they could go there on their own. Even if you just cast them out, they're already eyeing the pigs as a place to go dwell. So whether Jesus says yes or not, if he just cast them out, maybe they still go there anyway, unless he does, annihilate them. Go is translated so. Okay. So they came out and went into the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep slope into the lake and drowned in the water. So, we just had chaos in the water. Remember that. We just had chaos in the water where the disciples think they're going to drown. Instead of the disciples and Jesus drowning in the water, the demon-possessed pigs, the demons go into the water and the pigs drown. Now, we don't know what happens to the demons at that point. It doesn't tell us, not a point of the story. But one of the things, it says they rush down a steep slope. This is prevalent in all of the stories. So that's one of the things of trying to figure out where this actually is. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but there are people that have trying to figure out and bring harmony to the place where this happened. I'm always interested in those things, but when I'm just reading the text, I just want to know what the point of it is. And the point is not that this was an oops accidental thing. It is the pigs are active in running towards the water. This is just fascinating things because they could have just ran willy-nilly here and there, to and fro. Instead, the pigs are going to the water, the place of chaos, the place of death. I mean, there's all kinds of symbolism in that. So instead of going to the graveyard, which is where the dead humans are, they go into the sea, which would be a representation of Sheol, the place of the dead, the place of chaos, all those things. We got all those things overlapping here. Okay. The herdsman ran off, went into town, and told everything that had happened to the demon-possessed men. Then the entire town came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave the region. Okay, let me just read here. Bum, 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 bum. Or city. Here the term is, okay, for inhabitants. Okay. The entire town. Was it literally the entire town? Was it literally the entire town? Okay, we want to get hung up on phrases sometimes of everyone, all. Okay, this is, I don't know, you want to call it victory language? If you want to call it fear language, depending on if you're focused on them begging him to leave, or of their coming out because of what Jesus did. They want to see who did this. You can almost think of this as a mob coming out. They are terrified of Jesus. Why? Because they know who those two guys were. They weren't able to probably go and bury the dead anymore. It was very risky to probably go to the graveyard anymore and do whatever they were going to do to honor their dead or bury new dead. I mean, you got two guys hanging out there. Or in the other stories, you got one guy who's there. So here, the townspeople come out and beg Jesus to leave. Like, they're terrified of him. This reminds me in some ways of The people of Israel, when Moses comes down from the mountain and his face is glowing, and or when they hear God speak and they're like, hey, Moses, we're not cool with this. You be our go-between. We can't handle being in the presence of God. Here again, we can't handle being in the presence of someone who has this kind of supernatural power. Like, we were fine with the demons hanging out in the graveyard. But, hey, this kind of power to cast out demons, we don't know what to do with that. Please leave, buddy. Go on. You're not welcome. It's just funny, I think. After getting into a boat. Ooh, what's the footnote there? See footnote for Matthew. Oh, okay. Description of first century. They just keep telling us what a boat is. Okay. He crossed over to the other side and came to his own town. His own town refers to Capernaum, was a town located on the northwest shore of the Sea of Galilee, below the sea level. Just then, some people brought to him a paralytic lying on a stretcher. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic. Okay. Here's one of those things where I want to see things differently. I want us to work on our translation a little bit more, and I know we're working in that direction. Instead of saying, yeah, they brought him a paralytic lying on a stretcher. We've just equated the person's condition with the person. I don't like that. I want to give him his humanity, okay? They brought him a man who was paralyzed. I know it takes more to say, but I don't care. They brought him a man, and the man they brought him was paralyzed and lying on a stretcher. Okay, so I want to give the dignity to the person, not give them the condition they have. I hope that makes sense. Just like the man who was born blind. No, there was yes, a man who from birth was blind. I mean, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit nuanced. Maybe you don't get my point there. But when we equate someone with an adjective, we in some ways diminish their humanity is the way I see things. And so that's my own thing. I'm not the only one that sees that. So I try to be cautious of the way I describe or talk about people. Like a person who has a mental health diagnosis, not a mentally ill person, if that makes sense. When Jesus saw their faith, whose faith? Whose faith are they seeing? The plural pronoun there makes it clear that Jesus was responding to the faith of the entire group, not just the paralyzed man, the man who was paralyzed. Their faith. Well, I'm not sure if the man is included here or not. I don't know if the man's faith is included or not. Clearly, the friend's faith is. The ones who are carrying him on the stretcher. The ones who came and brought it. Now, it's plural. We don't know how many. We can make an assumption of if they're carrying him on a stretcher or, what's the note say here? I think it's usually a mat. Yeah, a bed. It could be four corners. It could be two people, one in the front, one in the back. It could be six if you think about pallbearers or along a bed when you're all holding it, making it lighter. Whatever it is, it's probably an even number of people bringing him. He said to them, or he said to the man, "Have courage, son, your sins are forgiven." This is so fascinating to me. Passive voice here is a divine passive. It is clear that God does the forgiving. Then some of the experts in the law said to themselves, "This man is blaspheming." When Jesus perceived their thoughts, he said, okay, I want to go look at that a second. Blaspheming, yeah, that's how they're talking there. Okay. Perceived their thoughts. I want to go look at that. So we are in 9:4. Because one of the things that we often end up doing is just fully say you making Jesus God Jesus all the time, and sometimes diminishing his humanity. So I'm not trying to diminish or water down any divinity in Jesus. I just don't want to have Jesus, mind reader Jesus, if it's not necessary. Okay? So the scribes said to themselves. The scribes said within themselves, within themselves. Okay, I see it. So it's in, within. Heoto.
Strong's G
Himself,
1438.
themselves.
Heautu.
Hey, Skirt Savage,
Heautu.
welcome in. Okay, so yeah, it is inner dialogue. I was just trying to see if it was saying to themselves. So it is their thoughts. Okay. Coming soon to a stream near you, the Flat Cap Dapper Bible, featuring respectful for all human conditions, randomly naming folks by their name's definition and spontaneous song translation with voices. I'm watching. That's hilarious. Oh, I appreciate you, friend. Yeah, I do. I have a vision condition. I am not my vision condition. Not at all. I want to recognize the humanity of everybody first, and then only talk about other things. I'm doing fantastic. I had a great weekend. It was great. And I am excited about the week ahead. So, welcome in. Okay. Yeah, let's keep going here. So Jesus perceives their thoughts. Okay. You know what? I don't have to have mind reading capabilities to perceive somebody's thoughts. Okay? As soon as I bring up the topic of abortion or women in ministry or gun control, I can perceive the thoughts of people on both sides of the aisle. I don't need any mind reading skills to know what people are thinking. Okay? So, Jesus doesn't need any mind reading skills to know that when he says your sins are forgiven, that the experts in the law are going to be going, blasphemy, blasphemy, blasphemy. He knows it. It's going to be who they are. Lady Palace, hey, welcome in. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're well. Sorry, I'm going to refill my mug here just a minute. Oh. And let me show you this. I'm watching you people. I got my mug here ready for workout. By the way, those that saw the schedule last week, Thanos, who was going to be leading the workouts at 8 a.m. is sick. And so the 8 a.m. workouts are canceled for the time being. And there is only the 10 a.m. workout. So I'm shifting. I'm going to be doing my workouts at 10 a.m. So we're reading the Bible, and then at 10, we'll go to workout. So anyway, there's my water bottle, and I got some stickers on there. Already, and there's the built-in logo that's on there. So here's my water, ready to go for, and I'll have to get a hydrate emote, or not hydrate, a hydrate command, different from the spot of tea command. So while I'm working out, you can hit me with a hydrate. Lady Palace, could the fam keep me in prayer? Your colleagues, Miranda, Carl, and JY, has not been very collaborative and no teamwork. Specifically, Miranda has been finding issues with me. I don't know for whatever reason. Please keep me in prayers and protection from their backstabbing attacks and information withholding when doing work. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and pray for Lady Palace. God, we are just praying for Lady Palace, her striving to follow you and to be at peace and to do her best at work, and she continues to struggle with job after job where she's at and where she's in, and some of it, yeah, we have no control over. But God, we're just praying for peace to abound over her, for the manipulation, for the backstabbing, for the attacks, for the information withholding, for you to allow change to happen there, for you to shine through her, for you to give her protection from all of those things, all the things that are said, all the things that are happening, and to allow her to do her job well, to be efficient at what she does, to just be a shining example, to give her strength in the middle of all of that. We pray for the example that she is to change the hearts and mind of Miranda and Carl and JY, that they will see that there is something different about her, that they will want to know what that is, and they will desire to change. And in between, God, we're praying for strength and courage, and to be with her. We just pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. I'm watching maybe a 10:10 workout to allow for the 10:02 prayer time. It's two different things that are going on, and I can do the workout and do the 10:02 prayer anyway. So it'll be on Discord so I'm going to try it here, or I'm actually going to try it on my Fire tablet, see if I can load Discord. It'll be on one of those two devices. I'll be doing the workout and listening to that, talking to you on the stream. I won't have my mic turned down over there. So you'll hear me. They won't hear me. I can do the prayer while we're starting the workout, because I'm going to guess when we start, they'll be stretching. So this is going to be weird. It's all experimental for the next 2 weeks to see what's going on. Altus, hey! Shalomi, my homies! Yeah, you've been here long enough. We know what that is. Yeah. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yeah, typo, no worries. No worries there. Oh, sorry, we went to ad break. Fishes are incoming.
Streamers, content creators, gamers, and cosplayers. Last year, ReachConf was an absolute blast. An in-real-life celebration where creators connected, impactful speakers inspired, gaming tourneys, on-stage shenanigans, and fantastic music kept the energy high. It was more than an event. It was a community coming together. Get ready for ReachConf 2025, happening November 6 to 8. All the best parts of gaming and creative culture will be there, live and in person. Last year, we hit capacity, and even with increased numbers this year, tickets are sure to sell fast. Don't miss your chance to be part of the ultimate IRL experience. Grab your tickets now and join the movement.
With his cam, he shows it all. Little fish, both big and small. Life in ponds so serene. Nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow. Hear the music, gentle glow. Flat caps charm and calm.
Thank you for the biddies.
Right at home.
All right, looks like we're ad over. Bum, bum, bum. So I don't remember what I was talking about before the ad break snuck in there. But yeah, so the workout is now shifted to 10 a.m. So that means this will be regular activity here to start the day. And it's going to be more difficult for me to keep the 10 o'clock time. And I don't know if I'll stream every day with the 10 o'clock time. I might sometimes just do the workout and not stream. But we'll see how that goes. So I got to get my schedule fixed and changed around and all of that. Oh, also, I have scheduled appointment tomorrow, and you know how they do this. 8 to noon. 8 to noon tomorrow, they will be coming to install fiber. So I may or may not be streaming, depending upon if I have internet or don't have internet. If they come at 8 o'clock, it might not be streaming, you know. You'll just put it in chat for everyone who wants to break. Absolutely. I'm watching. That's fantastic. I wish there was a way to set a command that would go off on a timer. That would be awesome. I don't know how to do that. Maybe there's a way that you could set a timer that would go off at 10:02 and it would go, pray. But all you got to do is exclamation point pray, I believe. Let me try this. Oh, click on the screen. That helps. Is that what I have? Nope. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Oh, I have separate on my phone, yes, but at 10, well, so yes. Yes, there is a possibility that I might, the problem is being able to do Bible from my phone. I know mobile streaming is a thing, but I'm saying mobile streaming from my phone, I don't have 5G reliable on my phone in where I live. I'm at the edge of a national forest, and so I've had difficulty streaming from my phone when I've tried it. But once I get fiber in my house and Wi-Fi, I should be good in my house, just not outside. Read the IRL Bible and share a chapter in the link pinned. Ooh, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I also thought about streaming the guy doing the fiber, but I don't know if he wants me to do that. Or use your phone as a hotspot. I know there's a way to do that, but even using my phone for a hotspot, I don't have good enough. Like I said, I don't have 5G half the time. I'm only on 4, so used to janky streams and improve. Yeah. Anyway, improvisation. You know, I will do something tomorrow regardless, okay? There will be something tomorrow, but if they could come at 8 o'clock, they could come at 11 o'clock. So they could come after stream. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. Oh, and then as I was saying, for workouts, Wednesdays, this Wednesday I won't be able to stream at 10 o'clock. I have a meeting at 10 o'clock, so that won't happen. 2 Thursdays a month, I have a meeting at 10 o'clock. Those streams won't happen. And then Saturday and Sundays, it depends on if I'm streaming or not streaming. I haven't figured out if I'm just going to do the workouts on there. When it was going to be the same time every day, I was thinking I was going to, but I might do it anyway. And then who knows? Maybe I'll do that and then hang out and do games afterwards. That might be a fun thing to do. But anyway, let's get back to our text. So, when Jesus perceived their thoughts, so like I said, this doesn't have to be mind reader Jesus. This is, hey, I said something. I know exactly what these people are thinking, because if I said this, they've probably challenged people on blasphemy, because somebody equating something to God that only God can do, that I can do it, I know exactly what they're going to respond. Okay? The same way, if I want to have a conversation with a Catholic and a Baptist, and I want to bring up the conversation of baptism or communion, I know exactly what they're thinking before I even bring the thing up. So Jesus doesn't have to be mind reader. He's going to know. He's going to know. Mel, I'm at parents, and their internet is not good as mine at home, and the cell service isn't great either. Yeah, that's one reason why when I go to my mom's, I can't. I can do Zoom meetings. I have no capacity for streaming at my mom's. The phone service is janky up there. It's even more. She's in the heart of a national forest. So I am in the boundary of, so not technically in the forest, but in the Manistee National Forest. My mom is in the Hiawatha National Forest. So, makes for bad internet, or I should say bad Wi-Fi. Bad phone service And then she was supposed to have wired internet hooked up to her house last year. It hasn't happened yet. So I'm hoping sometime this year she will get that installed so that I can stream from her house. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. So Jesus, just like I can read people's thoughts, I'm not supernatural. I know what people are thinking. Jesus can do that. So I don't think we need to make him superhuman. We don't need to just pull his divinity card out and say, Jesus could do it because he's God. Yeah, but if there's an explanation of how he would experience this accusation of blasphemy from a human perspective, because Jesus doesn't respond in a, I know what you're thinking. He just says, why do you respond with evil in your hearts? Woo! That's an accusation. Why do you respond with evil in your hearts? Think about that. Think about that. Whenever someone does something that blesses someone else, because I'm straight up saying, Jesus is blessing this person. Jesus is blessing this person. And yeah, evil in their hearts is what they have. They not only towards Jesus, but I'm assuming towards the man as well. Huh. Wonder why the cookies command didn't work. I thought I took the cooldown timer off. So, why do you respond with evil in your heart? Which is easier to say? Which is easier is a reflective kind of question. On the one hand, to declare that sins are forgiven is easier, since the forgiveness is unseen, unlike telling a paralyzed person to walk. On the other hand, to declare sins forgiven is harder, because for it to be true, one must possess the authority to forgive the sin. Jesus is implicitly claiming that authority here. I like how they worded that. Which is easier, to say, your sins are forgiven, or to say, stand up and walk? So, frankly, the phrases are easy to say, but the authority to make either happen is what's in question. And Jesus is going to have authority in both realms. So what do we have here? We have a authority over creation, authority over the spiritual realm, and authority to forgive sins. But so that you know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins, then he said to the man who was paralyzed, stand up, take your stretcher, and go home. Go home. So he stood up and went home. When the crowd saw this, they were afraid and honored God who had given such authority to men. Okay, let me see. Jesus did not finish his sentence, his words, but with action, that is, healing the paralytic and accompanying the pronouncement to direct him. Well, okay. I think it's a stretch there, because he's saying stand up. That is the command to be healed. In my mind. Verse 19 is interesting. Oh, we're not to verse 19 yet. We're still here at 7. So he stood up and went home. When the crowd saw, they were afraid. Most witnesses marveled, were amazed instead of fear. Here effectively turning the fearful action into one of veneration. But the harder reading is supported by all of these witnesses, and thus is surely authentic. Yeah. I also like fear, because we have the disciples are afraid in the boat. We have the townspeople are afraid of Jesus, and now we have the crowd is afraid of Jesus. So we have three demonstrations of authority, and the response to demonstrations of authority, well, actually the disciples' response wasn't, they were fearful before the demonstration. So let me clarify that. We do have three demonstrations of authority, and 3 levels of fear. Isn't that cool? Like, if this is why you need to read longer sections. You need to read longer sections than just a couple of pages, a couple of verses when you're reading, because the storyteller is telling you about these things, and you're going to hear the themes repeated again. So, power and authority over chaos and the sea and creation. Power over demons. Power over sin and physical healing. So, I mean, like, all the different levels coming out there. As Jesus went on from there, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at a tax booth. Okay. So Matthew's not there for the stories that we just read. He's not there for those stories that we just read. And now he's going to return to the theme of inviting people to follow him. So he has some people who are following him. He's doing some miracles. He is demonstrating his authority. Now he's going to, look at the way Matthew's telling this story. After demonstrating his full authority of being in relationship with God, of being divine, he is now going to invite a tax collector, someone outside the realm of social acceptance, a collaborator with Rome, to be a follower of his. Woo! Altus. It doesn't seem to be understood as a claim of deity here, as they say, given authority to men, plural, as if to say they recognize the authority was passed to people themselves rather than by God. But I wonder if it should say they honored God who gave authority to such men rather than they honored God who gave such authority to men, implying, scrolled on me, implying it was a unique type of man, the righteous, who have authority. Okay, let's back up and look at that a second. The people plural usually indicates people in general, but the singular is used for the expression son of man. Okay. Let's go look it up. Verse 8. Wait, are we in 10? No, we're in 9. Okay. They glorified God, doxazo, theos, which had given such power. Okay, yeah, it is plural here. So, yeah, I think I would agree with you to the type of man, either righteous or thinking in terms of prophets. Maybe they're thinking in terms of this kind of authority has been given before. Who's had this kind of authority? Great prophets have had this kind of authority. I don't know if that's what they're thinking or not, but so is that in line with what you're thinking there? Chatty boomer boss. Interesting verse though. Have a blessed dream. Yeah, okay. When we get to 19, I'll pay special attention. Yeah, that's in line with what you're thinking. Yeah. If it's given to men, it's not all men. It is a quality of a type of person, and we're praising God that there are those who come along who have that kind of Great point. Appreciate it. Okay. So we now have Jesus going to Matthew sitting in a tax booth. Tax booth was a booth located at a port or the edge of a city or a town to collect for trade. These taxes were a form of customs duties or toll applied to the movement of goods and products brought into the area for sale. As such, these tolls were a sort of sales tax paid by the seller, but obviously passed on to the purchaser in a form of an increased price. The system as a whole is sometimes referred to as tax farming, because a contract to collect these taxes for an entire district would be sold to the highest bidder, who would pay upfront, hire employees to do the work of collecting, and then recoup the investment and overhead by charging commission on top of the taxes. Although rates and commissions were regulated by law, there was plenty of room for abuse in the system through the subjective valuations of goods by the tax collector. And even though outright bribery, tax overseers and their employees were obviously not well liked. There was a tax booth in Capernaum, which was on the trade route from Damascus to Galilee and the Mediterranean. It was here that Jesus met Matthew, also named Levi, who, although indirectly employed by the Romans, was probably more directly responsible to Herod Antipas, the tetrarch of Galilee, appointed by Rome. It was Matthew's job to collect custom duties for Rome, and he was thus despised by his fellow Jews, many of whom would have regarded him as a traitor, while tax office is sometimes given as a translation for teleon. This could give the modern reader a false impression of an indoor office with all the associated furnishings. Okay, so that's why they're going with booth. Gotcha. That was a nice footnote. Okay, follow me. So we're still having the theme of follow. Follow is a theme that's ongoing, he said to him. So he got up and followed him. So interesting, we have a person that says, Jesus, I'd like to follow you. And he's like, hey, do you know the cost? And another person says, I'd follow you, but, and he goes away. And then we have a whole bunch of Jesus' authority being demonstrated. And now we're returning to the following. So Matthew is now following. So we got up and followed him. As Jesus was having a meal at Matthew's house, many tax collectors and sinners came and ate with Jesus and his disciples. Okay. So Jesus has just taken and gone to a Gentile region and associated by not eating a meal with, but went to and cast out demons in a Gentile region. He then is associating with a paralyzed person who would be ostracized from society, wouldn't be able to go into worship. He heals him, has accusations, and now he's going to another group of people. So if you go the outcast, the demon-possessed, the outcast, those that are unclean. So the unclean because of demon possession, the unclean because of not having a working body. And now we're going to who the society would feel is unclean. I don't know what their connection of being welcomed in the synagogues would be or not. BRB taking meds? All right. I should look that up. But anyway, these outcasts from society, regardless of clean and unclean status. The Gentiles are outcast. The demons are outcast. The infirm are outcast. The tax collectors are outcast. So he goes there, and who's going to be welcome at Matthew's house? Well, everyone knows he's a tax collector. Only the people going to associate with Matthew are people that are also social outcasts. As he was having a meal, and to have a meal is to be in fellowship with, was reclining at the table. First century Middle Eastern meals were not eating while sitting at the table, but while reclining on one side on the floor with one's head closest to the low table and feet furthest away. Many tax collectors and sinners came and ate with Jesus and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw this, they said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" And this would be Pharisees in the Galilee region, not all Pharisees. The issue here is inappropriate association with status of tax collectors. Jews were very careful about personal association and contact as a matter of ritual cleanliness. The question borders on the association that Jesus is ritually unclean because of who he is associating with. Yes. So Jesus is going to the unclean. That's what we have going on here. The Pharisees, okay, I thought at some level this was, culturally, like, why wouldn't you just confront Jesus on this? Oh, but you don't confront. You confront the disciples. That's the culturally appropriate way to do this, is when they have an issue with him, they go to the disciples who are the followers of Jesus to make the connection, to make the accusation, to get the clarification on that. When Jesus heard this, he said, "Those who are healthy do not need a physician, but those who are sick do. Go and learn what the saying means. I want mercy and not sacrifice, for I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners." A quotation from Hosea, the statement both in the Hebrew text of Hosea and the Greek text of Matthew creates an apparent antithesis. There it is. Antithesis between the mercy and sacrifice. Even among church fathers, some understood this to be an absolute rejection of sacrifice by Jesus and to signal the end of the sacrificial cult with the arrival of the new covenant. This interpretation is unlikely, however, both for Hosea and for Matthew. The Septuagint rendering the Hebrew text as comparative, I want mercy more than sacrifice, and this is probably clearer to closer to Hosea's meaning. Such an understanding is also consistent with Jesus' teaching elsewhere in Matthew. Obedience to the law is important, but even more important is to show mercy to those who are in dire need, as demonstrated by Jesus himself in his ministry of healing with the imagery of the physician. Okay. So I want mercy and not sacrifice. Not that I don't want sacrifice, but of prominence. Just like we have, no one can be a disciple of mine unless he hates his mother and brothers and sister and father or whatever I don't remember who all is listed there, but unless he hates his family. Jesus is not commanding us to hate our family. He is talking of comparison. So here, I think that's the same way he's doing it. I want mercy and not sacrifice. In comparison, which is more important? Mercy. 100%. All the time. Mercy. Mercy trumps sacrifice. That's a way of saying it. Mercy trumps sacrifice. And I don't come to can you imagine this? If you couldn't get an appointment with the doctor when you're sick because the doctor was busy having healthy people come in. I don't mean your annual physical checkups. I mean just, come in once a month and let me chat with you. See how healthy you are. And, I got time to see the sick because I got to talk to all the healthy. Hey, you're eating right. All right, that's good. You're doing your exercise. Fantastic. Come in and talk to me about it. Why, we could not just spend 5 minutes with you. Let me take a whole hour. I'll just see 8 people a day. It's all the time I got. Wouldn't that be weird? So Jesus is confronting their notions. He confronts the notions of his disciples. He confronts the notions of the demons. He confronts the town people. He confronts the teachers of the law, and now he's confronting the Pharisees. There's confrontation of people's perceived ideas of how God operates again and again and again and again. Okay. Then John's disciples came to Jesus and asked, "Why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples do not fast?" So this is interesting. The Pharisees don't come to Jesus, but John's disciples come to Jesus. There's got to be more there that I'm not seeing. I mean, the difference between the Pharisees going to the disciples, here John's disciples going to Jesus. Oh, maybe it's because the disciple level, you go to the teacher, and the Pharisees would see themselves as superior to the disciples. I don't know. There's certainly something there that culturally would be understood in the telling of the story that I don't. The Pharisees fast often, but your disciples do not fast. Jesus said to them, the wedding guests cannot mourn while the bridegroom is with them, can they? So he's going with the occasion of celebration. Like, if there's a celebration, you don't fast and mourn. Okay? Fasting and mourning is for a different season, for a different time. So, my disciples aren't fasting. How do they know Jesus' disciples aren't fasting? Because probably they're not doing the cultural thing of putting on sackcloth, ashes, or making themselves look disheveled on that day so that outwardly everyone would say, oh, person's mourning and fasting, look how holy they are. His disciples aren't doing that. Therefore, they are making the assumption that his disciples aren't fasting. Maybe they had conversations with them and found out they didn't fast. Remember, some of John's disciples are also Jesus' disciples. They have relationship. They're in the same, vicinity. The same way that, hey, I know a bunch of people that hang out in Taco Network. I know a bunch of people over in ReachCon. I know people over in Hopeful Disasters. I know people in Lux Digital Church. I know people in God Squad Church. Okay? So it wouldn't be uncommon for us to know things that each other are doing. His example, though, is, again, turning the thoughts upside down. But the days are coming. But the days. Ooh, what do we have footnote on there? Oh, it's just days. Okay. So it would be just days are coming, not the days. Okay. Just making it clear in English. Are coming when the bridegroom will be taken from them, and then they will fast. So there is an order of things. They will fast and mourn when the bridegroom is gone, when I am gone. For now, they're not fasting and mourning. I'm here. And now he goes to a different direction. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, because the patch will pull away from the garment and the tear will be worse. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the wineskins will burst and the wine is spilled out and the skins are destroyed. Instead, they put new wine into new wineskins and both are preserved. Okay, so he appeals to order and nature of things. So, you don't mourn when you're at a party. You don't put something new on something old, because something new on something old will destroy it. So Jesus is saying there's something new. That's the shift here. The first example is about celebrating and mourning and fasting and what you're talking about, but we're talking about celebrating, and we're talking about something new. This isn't the same old. There is something new going on here. Therefore, we're doing it differently. Hope that's making sense to all of you. As he was saying these things, a leader, what do we have on the footnote for leader? Matthew's account does not qualify the individual as a leader of the synagogue, as do the parallel accounts of Mark and Luke, both of which also give the individual's name as Jairus or Jairus. The traditional translation of the Greek word archon or ruler could in this unqualified context in Matthew suggest a political or other form of ruler. So here translated leader is preferred. Okay. As he was saying these things, a leader came, bowed low before him and said, "My daughter has just died, but come and lay hands on her and she will live." Okay, so there's a distinctive difference in the telling of the story. Here, he's talking about her being dead. So we are now returning to the things that Jesus has power and authority over. In the other stories, she is ill and then they come and say she is dead in the middle of the story, and then say don't bother the teacher anymore. So these aren't facts that are in dispute. Matthew's telling the story that she's dead for a reason because he just wants to start from that point. The others tell the story of coming in faith that can be healed, and then, now there's maybe more doubt. Can you heal from the dead? Matthew's not dealing with that piece. He just wants to get to the authority over death part. Bum, bum, bum. My daughter has died, but come and lay your hands on her, and she will live. So power of life and death, resurrection power. Jesus and his disciples got up and followed him. Ooh. So in the followed vein, that Altus was pointing out, they followed him. Interesting. Okay, is it Jesus and his disciples got up and followed him, or is it followed Jesus? His disciples got up. Like, Jesus got up and his disciples got up and followed him. Oh, what do we have in the text? Bum, 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 bum. And Jesus arose and followed him, and so did his disciples. Ooh. And Jesus arose and followed him. Whoa. Now I know why he's pointing it out. This is more clear in the Greek. So did his disciples. So Jesus is calling people to follow. People are coming to Jesus to follow. Now a man comes to Jesus and Jesus follows. Fascinating. I don't know what to do with that. I'm not sure what to do with it. You know what that means? Today for dancing. Today for, the theme of following is there. There's got to be a deeper level. I'm seeing a surface level of the theme of following, and the flip there of who's willing to follow, who's not willing to follow. And here at the request, so much dancing today. I know. Oh, good stuff. Okay, but a woman, and again, no name, who had been suffering with a hemorrhage for 12 years comes up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak. Okay. So, she has a hemorrhage. She is unclean. She should not be touched by, or she should not touch Jesus. She will make Jesus unclean. Okay, that is the way things are viewed. Now, it'd be only unclean for a short period of time, but we have people who are not allowed in synagogue worship. Once we got to the demon-possessed man, and then the man who was paralyzed, and the tax collector. Maybe the tax collector is unclean. I need to go look that up. I'm just wondering there. Maybe they could go in the synagogue. Could they go in the temple or not? Could tax collectors go into the temple? Okay. Tax collectors in Jesus' day. The Babylonian Talmud placed tax collectors along murderers and robbers. The rabbis taught that tax collectors were disqualified witnesses in court, social outcasts and utter disgraces to their own family. The rabbis excommunicated tax collectors from the synagogue. That's what I was looking for. The tax collectors weren't allowed to exchange their money at the temple treasury. The rabbis even considered it lawful to lie in almost any conceivable way to avoid paying tax collectors. Okay, so not clear on whether they could go in the temple or not, but hey, the synagogue, they couldn't go in the synagogue. So they are then on a level of uncleanness socially for sure. Um, yeah, I don't know whether they could become clean to go into to do sacrifices or not, but they couldn't pay the temple tax. If they wouldn't exchange for the temple tax, then they probably couldn't go in the temple by implication. So they just made a way to keep them out. So we have people that are not allowed to go into the presence of God. You can't go into the temple. You can't be in the presence of God because of the circumstance of life that you're in, whether willing or unwilling. Okay, that part doesn't matter. They are excluded, outcasts of society. They are not allowed in the worship of God. This woman cannot go in because she has a hemorrhage. And if you are bleeding, you're not allowed until that ends, and then you go through ritual purification. For 12 years, she's not been able to go to the temple and worship God in the temple or make sacrifices. So, I love this interruption, too, by the way. He's going to heal a daughter. I don't know if it'll tell us how old she is here, but from the other readings, we know she's 12 years old. This woman has not been able to go in the temple the same length of time this girl has been born or been alive. The parallels going there. That's why these stories are right like this. There's parallels going on. So she touches the edge of his cloak. For she kept saying to herself, if if I touch his cloak, I will be healed. So we had levels of faith earlier. We had the faith of the disciples that was fear. We have the faith, the great faith, of the men who bring their friend. And now we have faith of a man who believes God, that Jesus can raise the dead. And we have faith that all I need to do is touch a garment and I will be healed. Mr. Hanhito, afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. Thank you, friend. Hope you are as well. But when Jesus turned and saw her, have courage, daughter, your faith has made you well. So Matthew tells this story differently than the others of who touched me. Hey, you know what? What do you mean who touched you? You're in a crowd. He's telling this directly of faith bringing about courage, bringing about calling her daughter, relationship there, not ostracized, not keep away from. Oh, I love bacon. I lost my mustache yesterday. I spent hours looking for it. Luckily, I did find it. It was right under my nose. But so you didn't lose it then. You didn't lose it. Welcome in, bacon. Okay, the woman was healed from that hour. Was saved. Mel with the no cap. There we go. No cap for 5 minutes. Did that command go in? Oh, no, it didn't. There it is. Okay. Oh, we probably could go down that rabbit hole of healed from that hour, saved from that hour. I don't want to go down that one today, but this is the thing, is like there's so many levels that you can go and look at that you can keep. That's why we keep finding new things every time we're in the Word. So, this one doesn't feel like as much of an abruption as the other one. So, he heals someone who is unclean. When Jesus entered the house and saw the flute players and the disorderly crowd, he said, "Go away, for the girl is not dead but asleep." And they began making fun of him. Flute players? I don't think I've ever heard this translation of flute players. Hired flute players were a standard feature in Jewish funerals in the 1st century, according to Mishnah. The husband was responsible to provide flute players for his wife's funeral. Even the poorest man in Israel should not hire fewer than 2 flute players and 1 professional wailing woman. So, I am reading in the New English Translation, netbible.org is where you can find it. I keep thinking I should put it on the screen somewhere, but I got to figure out where to put that. But I might work on doing that I'm reading this version and also link to. Maybe I can make a command of it too. Translation command. Translation command. Translation command. Translation command. Hey, that was a nice tune. The one that's 6 times the size of any other Bible because of all the footnotes. Well, this one started out as an electronic Bible. So, like 25, I'm not sure how old it is. If it's 25 at least, maybe 30 years ago, the Bible societies that had copyrights for printed Bibles were like, no, you can't take our Bible and put it online. So scholars got together to do the Net Bible, a play on internet, but also New English translation, and they put footnotes in it, and it's constantly changing. So it was initially an internet Bible that, yes, you can go buy print versions of it. I do not know how long it is with all of the footnotes, but yes, it definitely would be long. Okay. So I probably heard this not as flute players, but anyway, professional mourners, I knew about that. Go away, for the girl is not dead but asleep. Oh, but thinking if you should be a copy of it, to be honest. Well, it's a great translation. Overall, I really like it. I mean, as much as I complain about it, I'm going to do the same of every translation where I have knowledge and I would lean in a different direction than they do. But no translation is perfect because you always have to make decisions of what you are taking from the original. Are you taking the word for word? Are you taking the understanding of it? Are you trying to take every possible meaning over? Are you trying to stay true to the words that are used and repetition? So anyway, if you want to, you can check it out. On the site, you go up to the menu, I believe it has a section to buy it. Or, no, here it is. If you go on the little down arrow, can't quite see it, but it'll say Net Bible at the top, and there's netbible.org, or there's bible.org, and you can get printed Bibles. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah, go away, for the girl is not dead but asleep. And they began to make fun of him. Okay, not a little bit. They were laughing at him. The imperfect verb has been understood. Aggressively began to make fun of him. Okay, so we have responses to Jesus. Jesus has power and authority over creation, and the disciples respond with, "Who is this?" Jesus has cast out the demons, and the people are fear, go away. So Jesus is having reactions to his authority. When he says your sins are forgiven, there is accusation of blasphemy. Here, when we had, like, paralleling these, we have professionals. We have professional sailors who are afraid of the storm. They can evaluate Jesus. Okay? Here we have professional mourners. They don't mistake somebody for dead that's not dead. Okay? Their job is to know when someone's dead, and they get paid for the work they do when someone's dead. They're professionals here, okay? So they know their job. Like, Jesus, come on, man. What are you talking about? So, but when the crowd had been forced outside, he went in and gently took her by the hand, and the girl got up. So here, he just takes her by the hand. No, nothing is said. Just a simple touch. So we have the woman touching his garment. We have him touching the girl. I like the parallels there. Also, the crowd is forced outside. Like, you don't believe this? Expelled. Ooh, sorry. Ooh, if the word is expelled. Okay. I got to go look it up. I'm wondering about if it's the same word as expelled, that the demons were expelled out. But he just says go. But there might be a word play there. Okay, we're in verse 25. Bum, 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 25. But when the people were put forth, ekbalo. Ooh, yep, that is definitely cast out. Sorry about the command there for I'm preaching on Sunday. That was this last Sunday. I need to get that changed. No shirt, no shoes, no faith, no entry. Ekbalo.
Strong's G 1544. Ekbalo. Ekbalo.
I think this could be a fun name for a metal band. Ekbalo. Ekbalo. So to cast out, to drive out, with notion of violence, to drive out, to cast out, to expel a person from society, to banish a person, to compel one to depart, to so employed that the rapid motion of one going is transferred to the one sending forth, to command or cause to draw. Oh man, look at all of these. Without the notion of violence. Oh, it can be without the notion of violence. I like it with it, but anyway. Let me put out. Ooh, pull out, cast out the mote in thine eye. Oh my goodness, this goes back to casting out. Oh my goodness. First, cast out the beam in your own eye. Oh, I had no idea this was here. Many will do and cast out demons in my name. Ooh. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into inner darkness and wailing of teeth. He cast out the spirits with a word. So the devils besought him, if thou cast us out, suffer us to go into the swine. It is. But the people were cast out. He went in and took hold of the girl, and the demon was cast out. We're going to have another. I'm just going through the cast out because this is fun. Music theme. I know. I need like a music. I will work on it. I really. I've got some stuff that'll have like dun 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 or like eerie. Do 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 do. Cast out demons through the prince of demons. Oh, that's the accusation later. Sent forth and cast out the laborers into the harvest. Oh my goodness. Man, I did not know that.
Is anybody in here blessed? Is anybody in here blessed? Is anybody in here blessed?
I'm blessed.
Is anybody in here blessed?
I'm blessed.
Is anybody in here blessed?
I'm blessed.
Is anybody in here
Seriously, this
blessed?
needs to be a thing. Yes. Oh, wow. I'm like, okay, so this here, you missed the good hair. Yes, you did. Sorry. This here is why you keep reading and reading and reading. But this here is like, if I'm reading on my own, I'm just stuck here. I am stuck. I'm not going forward. I would just sit in this. I would just sit in this and keep going down that rabbit trail of, oh my goodness, Matthew is using this cast out of those who are cast out of society, and Jesus is casting out other things instead of outcasts from society, and outcasts from society are welcomed in, and other things are being cast out. Those who don't see him, those who have no faith, those that have powers over everything. Oh man. Whew. And then the casting out in contrast to the gently. You know what? I'm going to go look up gently now.
Lil Craig 46
Lil
just followed.
Craig! Thank you for the follow. Okay, where is it? He took her by the hand, and the maid arose. There's some fun. The maid arose and took her by the hand. Ho share. Okay, that's probably nothing there. Kratos. Yeah, that's just okay. Not gonna be. I'll look it up anyway since we're here. Kratos is just a take, I'm assuming. Kratos.
Strong's G 2902. Krateo.
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 Oh, there is more. So to take hold of, but it also has to have power to be powerful. So he could be doing a wordplay. What usage do we have here? There's more than I thought. It is a verb, aorist active indicative, third person singular, aorist active indicative. Oh, see, it doesn't tell me. Here's one of the problems with it being in this. I can't see which tenses these are. Shoot. Okay. Anyway, a word that could be coming from the source of power, that he has power, he has authority, and he is gently taking by the hand. Okay. I'm watching. When I get stuck on a verse or section, I just sit back, look at the ceiling, and go, huh, yeah. And I'm like, thank you. How art thou? I know. This is so, like, the casting out of the people is just in parallel to the casting out of demons and the way that people are outcast from society. Oh, man, I had not seen that. I love that. Mr. Juanito, surprisingly good. After an early hours trip to the bathroom with an upset stomach. Oh, sorry to hear that. And all comes with it. God is so good. Thank you, Lord. Glory be to you. Absolutely. Well, I want to say, all those kinds of things that happen. So Saturday night, oh my goodness, I had such glorious sleep. And I woke up at 5 a.m. refreshed. And I got up and it was great. And last night, I don't know why I was up 4 or 5 times to go to the bathroom last night in the middle of sleep. It's like, I gotta go. Like, why? Like, why are you waking me up so I can go to the bathroom? I don't want to do that. I want to sleep. But still, all good. Okay, let me snooze the ad here for 5, and we'll see where we are when we get there. So we'll finish this chapter. Then we'll go to BRB. Then at 10 o'clock, and I got to get this set up. So there'll be a little bit of setup time here to get my microphone switched over and get ready for doing first workout ever on stream. So, yay. I might actually, I know, like, if you end stream and start stream, you should all still be here. But we'll see if that works. We're going to try a few things today and for the next 2 weeks. Okay. And the news spread throughout that region. Okay. So I don't think there's anything that we need to look at there. Other Gospels in Mark make a big point of don't tell, don't tell, don't tell. And the news is always getting out. I think it's the first time Matthew's done that. As Jesus went on from there, 2 blind men began to follow him, shouting, "Have mercy on us, Son of David." Okay, so again, the motif of 2. There are 2. Let's pay attention. One is going to do some stuff, and then we're invited to be the other one. When a rabbi tells a story, and there's 2, there's going to be one person that does the action and another one to be the representative of us in the story. Mr. Juanito, no pressure, Pastor. I get it if it's not viable with your chosen passage to cover, but I just want to ask if you missed or saw your question. I must have missed it. I must have missed the question, Mr. Juanito. Sorry. It must have been before. Oh, why did the demons make the pigs run and drown themselves? Okay. Great question. No, I didn't. I just missed it, and we covered that, so it's perfectly legit to ask it. The short answer is I don't know. But the bigger piece of it is I don't think the demons made them do it. I think that the pigs did it of their own volition to rid themselves of the demons. So I think it's more a level of when the demons went into the pigs, there was such a level of chaos that the pigs went to the water, which is the realm of chaos. So it doesn't make sense to me that the demons would ask to go into the pigs and then they would force the pigs to die. Why couldn't they have just left the people? So the demons are looking for a place to dwell until they can find someone else, so they're not wandering the earth. What ends up happening anyway is they end up wandering the earth because the pigs drown themselves because they're like, we're not having this. we're getting out of here. So I think it's the pigs who drown themselves. I don't think it's the demons doing it, if that makes sense. But it doesn't tell us. It doesn't tell us. Yeah, no apology needed. I am just weary of hijacking your stream and getting off. I have no problems with hijacking the stream and getting off topic. I am perfectly fine with saying, that's a great question, but let's save it for another day. I'm fine with doing that if I don't want to address it or if I think we'll go too far afield. But I'd rather deal with questions people have than just what I'm interested in. I'm watching. They must have had quite the mastery over their environs, being blind men able to follow him. Oh, think they had walking sticks or helpers? Great questions. Great questions. Yeah, human helpers or animals. I don't know when people would have started using animals as helpers. I don't know where that comes from or how you would train them to help in the same way that we have seeing eye dogs today. But they could have had helpers, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're welcome, Mr. Hanhito. Oh, yeah. Totally. No. I'm saying in regard to facts about what people had for helpers, I don't know. Still great with pondering the question, though. Okay. Let's see how long this section is. Maybe we'll stop there and not go into the blind men. Oh, yeah, we don't have workers for the harvest into the field, sending out of the 12. We're not going to get all of that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop there. We're going to go through 26. So we are Matthew 9:26. I'm going to change the way I'm doing this. I am just going to put the last verse we get to. 9:26. We're not going to do the blind men. We'll have to remember that when we get here next time. I'm going to go ahead and start working on changing my setup here. Wasn't Noah the first to have service pets? I don't know. Okay, so we got ads coming in. So what I need to do here is... Oh, I moved it over here. So I need to switch microphones here. Where is my plug for that? Uh-oh. I'm looking for my plug and it's missing. My wife was searching for things the other day. Well, I know where I've got one. Okay, so the microphone is going to become unplugged. I got to turn some other stuff on and make sure this is working. So we'll see what happens here. When I unplug it, you won't hear me. Check 1, 2, test. There we go. I'm blowing up the EQ there. Let me know the volume. Okay. Yeah, it just took me a minute to figure it out. So, all right, we're still on ad break, and I'm going to give you the BRB because I will be BRB.
Attention streamers, content creators, gamers, and cosplayers. Last year, ReachConf was an absolute blast. An in-real-life celebration where creators connected, impactful speakers inspired, gaming tourneys, on-stage shenanigans, and fantastic music kept the energy high. It was more than an event. It was a community coming together. Get ready for ReachConf 2025, happening November 6 to 8. All the best parts of gaming and creative culture will be there, live and in person. Last year, we hit capacity, and even with increased numbers this year, tickets are sure to sell fast. Don't miss your chance to be part of the ultimate IRL experience. Grab your tickets now and join the movement.
All right, are we still good on sound? Let me see. What do we got? Yep, still looking good. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Let's go to cam. Hood good, good, good. All right, so I don't know what I missed while I was trying to mix everything up. I was switching mics if you came in and didn't know that. New donation. I appreciate you, friend. Helping out with the prayer booth. So I knew there'd be some issues here switching over. Oh, you missed something. Yeah, okay. Think I'm caught up. I didn't miss much. How long did that take you to make? Haha. Same with the cap one. Oh. I don't need this, by the way. Move that out of the way. I shot, like, one day I shot all those videos, and then I edited them. So, yeah. It was a reasonable amount of time. I'm much better at it now. Probably wouldn't take me as long. But, okay. Now I've got to work on checking where Discord is at. Seeing if it works here. Or... You know what? I don't know if I can pair this with Discord, but anyway, I'm going to use my phone for today. I'll check that another day. I'm just worried it would be bigger to do that on my phone. So we're going to be doing workout. I have no idea what the workout is. Altus, I'm back. It wasn't as long as you thought it would be. So you're back. Well, I was totally fascinated by your point there that there's all of the people following Jesus, and then Jesus does the following. So thank you for pointing that out. Took me down a rabbit trail of looking at following, which was a lot of fun. All right, so the workout's going to be over here in Discord. So I will be on Discord. Oh, I need to put my earbuds in. And one device, go into the phone. I don't plan on talking over there, but I'll need to listen to what is being said. And I'm going to have to switch over. Bunch of people just saying good morning. Okay. Announcements. Day 1 of 90 of Helldiver Challenge. Challenge starts in 10 minutes. Stats, chats, channel. Yeah, that's what I thought. Just push back against HP and level up together. Thanks for the advance. Stepping into Thanos. Okay. No equipment is necessary. They just speed up results if you have. Okay, well, then I might get equipment for tomorrow. Oh, well, there's already people there. I'm joining now. All right, so I'm up. Okay. Oh, fun. Sad I missed it, but alas, for 6 days shall I labor. Thanks, Adam. Sorry, I'm trying to read and find something on my phone, and I'm not talking or checking. So this, but I'm gonna end stream, change title, and restart stream is what I'm gonna do. You know what? Let me change it here. Oh, what is it called? Is it workout? Workout. I can't find it. What do I have it as? Not the right one. Working out. That's what it is. Not workout, working out. Okay. Trying to get stuff. So if I'm missing anything, doesn't look like it. Okay. So not chatting, working out. Why? That's weird. It's not showing up as a category. I want to put it IRL. I just need to... Boy, I can't figure out the flip on this. Okay, so I'm going to stop stream and restart stream with the new title.